Wakisa Ministries is one of the handful of crisis centers for pregnant teenage mothers in Uganda. Most of the girls Vivian and the Wakisa staff help are victims of defilement, rape, and incest. Vivian does admit the fact that these girls are defiled by their fathers and other male relatives is heartbreaking and outrageous. Most of these girls, once discovered pregnant, are thrown out of their homes and abandoned by their loved ones. Today on Profiles, we meet Vivian Kityo, a woman who has made it her mission to look after these unwanted pregnant mothers who are as young as 12 years old.
After the death of my husband, the Lord called me to really help people who were hurting, and by then I was a president of Mothers Union in Namirembe Diocese. I also was helping women. They used to come to me as a priest's wife, because I told you my husband was ordained priest. They used to come to me and they had issues, and I had no clue of how to help these women who had their problems in families. All we could do was to pray with them. And later on I realized I needed more skills in counseling or helping people. And this is what Wakisa Ministries is doing. The first challenge was, of course, money. I didn't know how we were going to get money to run the ministry, because this Wakisa Ministries was kind of a temporary shelter, or is a temporary shelter for young girls. And that includes feeding them, keeping them, and taking them to hospital. So you need a lot of funding to run such a ministry. And I had to write to friends in the States and tell them about this ministry. And there is a couple that offered to pay the monthly rent for this place until time came when the landlord was going to sell it. And we as sitting tenants were given the first opportunity.
Does Vivian find it hard to convince these scared and vulnerable girls to turn to Wakisa Ministries for help instead of procuring a quack abortion?
These are girls from different places. It is like a school on a small scale, and they come with all different behaviors. And on top of that, they are pregnant. So it isn't very easy to control young girls who are pregnant to, become like a good community. Some of them think that we would help them procure an abortion. And when they walk in, the first option they have is to just get rid of the child. So we have a model which I would show you, which we take out and show them that this is a human being like you and me. So terminating this pregnancy is not just removing a piece of stick, it is actually killing a baby. And so they open their eyes wide and they realize this is not just like as easy as it's said. And then we also explain to them the dangers of an abortion, the physical dangers, the bleeding, the infertility, and infections. And we also explain to them the spiritual dangers, that this is, if you are a Christian, even a Muslim, between you and your God, how will you face him when you have done so? We explain to them the emotional dangers, the effects of, terminating a pregnancy. So when they have gone through this kind of counseling, I must say we have a professional counselor who works here, and she's part of us. She's Mrs. Theodora Niringie, and she does come and gives ongoing counseling to the girls who accept to stay here. And so by the end of the term of their pregnancy, they have just, changed, and they love their child and waiting eagerly to have their baby.
Wakisa Ministries is small but making a huge difference in these girls' lives. We spoke to Catherine, a young girl who is 7 months pregnant.
Wakisa Ministry is a place where they help girls who get pregnant and those who come for counseling. I like making beads and weaving mats and candle making. I would like to go back to school.
By 2004, there were 3 million teenage girls, and it is estimated that 1 in 3 got pregnant in that year alone. Did Vivian receive any negative feedback from setting up Wakisa Ministries?
But I know 1 or 2, and these were women, were wondering what on earth we were doing. Why should we accept a girl and pamper that kind of girl when they should be thrown away from, the home to anywhere, or their old grandparents, because they have, they asked for it, they got it, so they should be punished. So these are some of the mothers who are like, what are you doing? This is like pampering, patting, these girls at their backs that they've done very good and they need support and help. But I think the other people who walk in, especially Christians, they are touched and they find a way of helping this ministry. Well, the vision is really to have a generation that will really be helped, a generation of people that have been traumatized by the crisis pregnancy or sexual behavior, even if they're not pregnant, or the war. And so we need that generation that will be God-fearing and that will be transformed and have self-esteem with confidence. And I must say that through Wakisa Ministries, while the girls are here, through the trainings and all that, they're transformed. When God entrusts you with some responsibility, you got to make sure that you do it with your whole heart.
Thank you for watching Profiles. Join us again next week for another inspiring episode. If you have any comments, please send us an email to profiles@ntbuganda.co.ug.